what's to Barry Schools. Send your kids to Barry Schools, a place to realize your dreams. Barry Schools. Send your what's to Barry Schools. Send your kids to Barry School. There's no other place like Barry Schools.
Hello, good morning, pupils. Mr. Fortune, your music teacher. I hope you're doing very well at home and you're staying very safe. We have yet a very interesting topic on the board. Writing of notes on the treble staff. Remember, we learned about musical notes. Okay? So now we learn how to write it on the treble staff. This class is meant for grade 3. Okay? So, we'll learn how to write the semi-brief notes on the treble staff, the medium notes, and then the crotchet notes. So we'll learn how to write 3 notes. The first one will be our semi-brief. Second one will be our medium. Third one will be our crotchet. So we'll learn how to put these 3 notes on our staff. Okay, so at this point, we'll start with the first one, writing of a semi-brief note on the staff. Okay, now the first one is writing semi-brief notes. This is the symbol for semi-brief on the treble staff. And now the part you're using on the treble staff is the line. So write these notes on the lines of the treble staff. Now, writing the notes on the lines, the line must cut the note at the middle of it into 2 equal halves. The line must cut the note at the middle into 2 equal halves. Now let's take an example here. Example, we take a staff first, 5 lines straight and must be parallel to each other. Okay, that is our staff. Since we're talking about the treble staff, we have to put a treble clef. Now we'll take the first, let's have a first drawing here. We said it must cut the note at the middle. So we put a note here and make sure the middle of it is being cut by the line. So we're going to draw this semi-brief all over our staff, only on the lines. So we have E. This is the first one. Let's take another one. Take G, B, D, F. Okay. Now, these are semi-briefs on the 5 lines of the staff. Okay. Now, remember, anything that is written on this line is given that name automatically. If we have another note, don't worry, we'll take another example to show that. Now, the second one is writing the notes, the medium notes on the line of the treble staff also. So we'll take the second one now. Now, the second one is writing medium notes, which has a symbol on the treble staff, also on the lines. Now, in writing the notes on the line must cut the head of the note at the middle of it into 2 equal halves. The line must cut the head of the note. Let's see how it looks like. So an example here. Example. We have our staff. Again, 5 lines. Treble staff in particular. So, the line must cut the note at the head. Now this is a medium note. And then it has 2 parts. The stem, the head. This is the head of the note. So the line must cut this head into 2 equal halves, like this. Okay, so let's see how it looks like on the staff here. We have it this way. So the line has cut it into 2 parts. We draw a stem. That is a medium note. We label this E. Take another one. We label this G. Take another one. We label it E. Sorry, B rather. Sorry. That's a B. We take another one. Label this D. And we take the last one. And we label this F. So that is how you draw a medium note on the lines of the staff. Now, if you check closely, these two have their stems pointing upwards, and then these three have their stems pointing downwards. Now I'll explain that. On the staff, any note above the middle line, that's the third line, any note above this line must have its stem pointing downwards. So these two, since they are above the third line, their stems point downwards. These two are below it, so the stems point upwards. So any note below the third line has its stem, this, point upwards. And any note above it has its stem, the stem pointing downwards. Now, any note on the third line, take note, on the third line can have its stem pointing either upwards or downwards, depending on its preceding note. That's the note that comes after it. So if the note that comes after it faces downwards, then the note on the third line must face downward. The note that comes after it faces upwards, the note on the third line faces upwards. So again, this is how it looks like on the treble staff. Medium note on the treble staff takes this shape. So we go over to the third one now. So now the third one is writing crotchets. So we have the crotchets here on the treble staff, still on the lines. Now writing the note on the line must cut the head of the note at the middle of it into equal halves. It must cut it into equal halves like the medium notes we have. So example here. Example. We begin by drawing our staff. So we have the treble staff. Take the first one, E. Make sure you color it properly without any white space left. G. Third one, B. D. And the last one is F. So again, that is it. E, G, B, D, F using crotchet notes. Make sure you color yours properly. E, G, B, D, F using crotchet notes. So I said earlier on, the first one we have here is the semi-brief. Here they are. Writing the note on the line must cut the note at the middle of it into two equal halves. So cut it at the middle. So we use the semi-brief notes to write the names of the lines of the treble clef E, G, B, D, F. The medium also, writing the note on the line. The line must cut the note of the head of the note at the middle of it into two equal halves. Now, here also, for the medium part, it cuts it into two. So we have here all through with mediums. The last one we took was a crotchet. The last one is a crotchet. So we write crotchet notes across the lines of the treble staff. At this point, we'll take assignments. Now here are your assignments. The first one says draw medium notes on the lines of the staff below. So what you're going to do is you draw medium on each of these lines. Okay, I hope you know what mediums are. So you draw them on each of the lines. The same thing applies. Number two is crotchet. You draw crotchets across each line. The last one are semi-briefs on each line of staff. So at this point, we've come to the end of our class for today, and I hope to see your assignments. So I would love to say goodbye for now. Have a nice day.